Views from the Bleachers podcast. Pat the designer, CEO Haize in the building yet again. Somebody who's not going to be in the building. We got to talk about that. That's a heck of a transition there.
That's wild. That's what that is. That's wild.
That is crazy. Now, you know what I thought about since we do so much stuff and there's so many people who watch us on different things but have no idea that some of those things connect. I thought about us doing like our what to catch us on, what to watch us on, what to watch for that we have coming up this week type of you dig. Y'all know you could catch me over on the Bears podcast, Chicago Bears podcast, Monday through Friday. We got some dope guests coming up this week. We got somebody from the Combine who does offense, Brandon Thorne, who does a lot of breakdown for the offensive line. Check us out over there tomorrow, me and Jason McKee, or today, depending on when this drops. And then Courtney's coming on. We're trying to get some guests on for Thursday. Great stuff over there. We got Greg Gabriel on the Breeze this Thursday, so pull up with us on that. A lot of mugs mad at Greg Gabriel just because he's still a Justin Fields guy, so it'd be interesting to hear from him. So many people are just mad. Like Justin Fields is ruining people's perceptions of people that they have listened to or watched their entire lives. It's kind of hilarious watching how much people hate people.
It's crazy, bro. It's honestly pretty damn crazy.
Dog, it has nothing to do with the people themselves either. That's the problem. That's the part that's weird. It's like you're the hate on a sports opinion, right? Like I had a guy on the Bears pod today. He told me, oh no, he was commenting about Courtney. Somebody's like, why does Courtney always seem like the best person on a podcast you could find? And then he was like, that's because she's always sitting next to mid opinion Pat or something he called me, which is hilarious. Mid opinion Pat is actually but basically because I'll argue things on both sides to try and play devil's advocate or cover, like a show host should. And because like I'm just not sitting there every time somebody talks and going, but Justin Fields should be the quarterback. It's like now it's like, oh, but Pat hates Justin. It's like, no, I love Justin. I want Justin to be here. I think he's gonna go on to be successful somewhere else. And but I don't know, man. It's getting weird out here. What you got coming up this week, Haize? What you got people to watch out for?
Every single day. Like I post daily Bears content, daily Bulls content. I got some stuff coming up on NBA Central. Oh, I will be hitting a milestone of 1,000 straight days of new content on Chicago Bulls Central on Friday. So
that. Congratulations, brother.
Hey, thank you, bro. Like the fact that I've gone 1,000 straight days without getting sicker to the point where I almost died. And I still was.
You did almost die. I was wondering about that. Is this since then? Is this 1,000?
No, that's then. I didn't. So you stepped in for me a couple times. Well, Locked on Bulls, but I was still doing Chicago Bulls Central every one of those days.
He was just like, I'm not doing a 30-minute podcast, bro. You get what you get.
Well, because that's back when Bulls Central was like 5 to 8 minutes, bro.
Yeah,
remember,
that's true.
So, yeah.
That's what's up, man. 1,000 straight days is insane, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know I didn't reach that milestone. We stopped the breeze probably 4 or 5 times. We stopped the breeze one time because the studio flooded.
That's
because
crazy.
it was in my guy's basement. We went down there one day and the water was literally up to my sister's dad's waist.
That's crazy.
It was insane. It was insane. So no, shout out to you, bro. Keep killing it on that. I mean, listen, let's jump into some of these topics, bro, because there's my God, bro. It's you know what it is? I'm starting to realize everything's not beef. We just see it as beef because I thought we had beef between Stephen A and Brian out here because of this topic here with Bronny James basically being taken off of ESPN's draft board. I don't know why somebody would be upset by this, but LeBron wanted to defend his son after he saw that ESPN took him off of there and was not thrilled and put a tweet out on what are we going with X? Are we going with Twitter? What are we going with?
I still call it Twitter.
I still call it Twitter, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'm gonna get to the point. I had somebody say I sent the X the other day and I almost punched him. I thought he was talking about drugs, I swear. But he said, can y'all please let a kid be a kid and enjoy college basketball? And then deleted it. But also said the work and results will ultimately do the talking no matter what he decides to do. If y'all don't know, he doesn't care what mock drafts say. He just works, earned, not given. And I call cap on that. One, no, we're not just going to let a kid be a kid because he's your kid, because you haven't said that about any of these other kids that didn't get to be kids when they were coming out in mock drafts. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, when he was in Miami, wasn't he pushing the Miami Heat to go after some of these kids, putting that pressure on some of these kids that LeBron James wants you to play for his team?
Well, even that said, like LeBron contradicts himself so much. Like he really is the game of basketball, because all he does is contradict himself. He literally said himself that Bronny probably wouldn't have been recruited to where he was recruited to if he wasn't his son. So let the kid be a kid. He's already living off the merit of just being your son the whole time. Like, what are we talking about here? You're the one who said, hey, Bronny could play for us right now, just 45 days ago.
Bro, I was going to say, wasn't that like at the beginning of the season, bro, when they were talking about
it? That was just in January. Come on. What are we talking about?
I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, there's nothing about his game that looks impactful at this. And listen, Bronny was a heck of a high school player. He was. Guess what? So was Marcus Jordan. Right? Marcus Jordan won a state championship. He shouldn't have won that state championship. Jeremy Richmond clearly jumped over. It wasn't Jordan. It was somebody else that was on there, and they called a charge. Like, he cleared him. He jumps clean over him, yammed the ball down. They call a charge. But anyway, I digress. But it's one of those situations to me where no, your kid doesn't just get to be a kid any different than any other kid, and he's going to get treated differently than some of these other kids. But you can't sit here and say he's shown you anything at the college level that he should be allowed to make the decision to come to the NBA. Now, if he wants to come to the NBA just to say, I want to come and I know my dad's going to give me, like, my name is going to get me on a team because people are going to want my dad to come play. Fine. But then it's not earned, not given, but that's fine, right? Like, if he decides to come out and come to the NBA, that's a whole different situation. But let's be real. His play on the court, his numbers, his actual impact on the court is nothing.
You said it.
Does not impact any of these games for USC.
He lost. Only started a couple of games. At this point, they're playing him like 12 minutes a game, if that. Like, and don't get me wrong. I don't want to overlook the fact that he did have a serious heart issue, right, to start this off on.
Yeah.
But this whole thing with Bronny is a perfect example, and I actually like that it happened with somebody who is coming in with the caliber of, like, the name recognition of being Bron's son, because this all goes back towards why some of these kids need to just stay in college longer. Because Bronny, he doesn't project right now to be any type of impact player in the NBA. We all know that.
No.
But he does. He's really good at distributing the ball, and he's solid defensively. We've seen players stick around the NBA for less with those type of skills, but you need to refine it to show that you're going to be able to do it on a consistent level, because right now it's just a flash in the pan.
Well, and I think here's the problem for me. And of course, the heart issue, to me, I don't even know if that's still having an impact here. And maybe it is because he had to take the time off to work on that. But I don't even know if that's still having an impact here, because he's playing pretty much the same amount of minutes that he was playing to start the season, until he got that little bit of a boost when he got in the starting lineup. But here's my problem. USC's garbage. Like, they're bad basketball team. They're a bad college basketball team. You can't start on a bad college basketball team right now. Why would you come to the NBA?
Because, Pat, reasons.
It's just like that to me is the fact that LeBron is upset about a kid being a kid in a scenario where your kid isn't even the best kid on the team, and he needs to work and he needs to try and get better, right? Like, do we feel like, and I don't know if you've seen any of the USC games, but it doesn't feel like the coach is like, I don't want to put Bronny out there because of who he is.
No.
Or I don't want to put Bronny out there because it literally just feels like He's not good enough yet. He's a freshman, so he's not supposed to be good enough yet. He needs to take time to get good enough. And he shouldn't come out of the NBA. Like I just, if he comes out next year, it will destroy his NBA career, because the second that his dad is off the team, his clock starts ticking on development and how quickly you can get to an NBA level as a player.
Yeah, I agree with you. This isn't going to end well, is all I can say. It's not. Yeah,
It may. He may not get drafted this year. I think, here's the thing. I think Bronny can develop. Bronny needs to like watch what happened to Austin Reeves and like not do that. Because I think Austin Reeves came into the NBA. There was hype around him, but he came into the NBA as a role player because he hadn't developed that dog at the college level that we were expecting to see. And he never was able to break that stigma of a role player. He never was able to.
Me and you disagree on that, because I don't think he would have ever been anything more than a role player either. Anyway, but even then, that's still fine. Like Austin Reeves made a lot of money and had some big games in the NBA level.
But I think here's the thing though, right? It's about getting, like, Austin Reeves came in his rookie year and they were like, "You're a role player." Like, it's about getting I think if he spends that extra year in college, he isn't sitting on a absolutely stacked team with NBA players littered all the way through that team, pretty much, that you would look at his impact in college differently, and he would go to a team that would say, okay, here's the keys to a franchise.
Nobody would ever give Austin Reeves the keys to the franchise.
I mean, it depends on how he plays it that next year. You wouldn't have given it to him when he goes to that Clippers team, and it's like, not the Clippers. Who did he get drafted by? Was it the Clippers?
I think it was. He got drafted by his dad, didn't he?
Got drafted by his dad. So you weren't going to give him the keys when he goes to that Clippers team, and you got Chris Paul, Blake Griffin.
But that's the thing. No, Austin, and like I said, we just fundamentally disagree on Austin Reeves. I get it that he was a really good high school recruit, but his skills were his skills. Even if he would have stayed in college, I don't think that team would have had success to where people are looking at Austin Reeves like, damn, he still got drafted pretty high, right? He got drafted right outside the lottery.
No, he still got drafted pretty high.
Yeah, I just don't think that staying in college for Austin Reeves.
Have we been saying Austin Reeves this whole time?
Austin Rivers. I've been saying Austin Reeves this whole. Well, I have. I don't think you have. But we meant Austin Rivers.
You said Austin Reeves a couple times, and now I'm questioning if I've been saying Austin Reeves. There's people watching this like, why the fuck are these guys talking about Austin Reeves?
Yeah, like he was drafted 10th overall.
He got drafted to the Pelicans, by the way.
Did they immediately trade him out? Well, okay.
No, he played 3 years with the Pelicans.
Oh crap! I didn't realize that. But so, yeah, I mean, you got drafted 10th overall. I don't think it would have went any higher than that. I think Austin Reeves' career would have went the same way regardless.
Yeah,
you got drafted by your dad, and your dad still was like, "Yeah, role player, son."
Hey, get over there on that bench, son. You know you ain't got that dog, and your name ain't Dot. I wonder how that was for him, just getting like coached by your dad and him actually having to like cuss you out every now and then. Probably was just normal. Probably was just regular life. Yeah. Probably just regular life. Hey, man, appreciate you guys for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We're going to transition into this because we talking college. We might as well keep it on college. I don't know if you saw this, Haize, but Kyle Filipowski ended up getting injured during a court storming that is caused an uproar across the entire sports media world on should court storming be done. If you don't know what court storming is, go watch any college basketball game or football game. We've seen this in football games too, but it's field storming. Where basically if a team upsets you, you run onto the field and you celebrate with the team on the field. It's a cool concept. I'm a fan of it. Maybe we need to do a better job protecting some of these players. What are your thoughts on court storming? Should it be banned at the college level?
I'm more pissed that this is a guy that I've been scouting, hoping that the Bulls are going to be able to draft. I'm scouting Kyle Filipowski for a while now, and it sucks. But yeah, you can't listen. I know
He's
court
fine. He
storming.
said he's just a little bit sore, but it's
Yeah,
crazy to like.
but understand that it is part of college culture, right? It just is. Field storming, court storming, it is, and I think, as we've seen the watered downness of kind of everything trickling out through sports, I won't be surprised if this is eventually eliminated. Like, I like it. I understand. I think it's always fun. It's like I said, it's part of the college atmosphere. But once players start getting hurt, and now keep in mind, these players are actually making money now. The NIL money's there.
Yeah.
I think that may be what you start seeing changes to things.
This is the wrong side of the debate, but it's really how I feel about it. I don't think isolated incidents should lead to mass changes. And I don't think that this has been a major issue every single time somebody storms the court where this is something that's been done, I don't know, probably for hundreds of years in college sports. Like, how many guys have really been seriously injured by this? Kyle's not even seriously injured by this. Like,
yeah, it's not a serious injury.
To me, it's an injury where it didn't need to be done and a fan did it. But I don't think that you need to stop what's always been done because of this isolated incident. Now, if you feel like, okay, maybe the fans are getting a little too malicious, maybe they're coming out and they're targeting guys, maybe they're looking to do these type of things, that's different. And maybe you need to stop it in isolated areas. This was Wake Forest upsetting Duke out here. So like, maybe that's a little bit more of a rivalry that you don't want to see that done in. But I don't feel like you need to make mass changes because of a few isolated incidents that are now in the forefront of our mind. And let's be real, by the time March Madness gets here, none of us will think of.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm not saying that necessarily that I would go through and do these wholesale changes, but I do think that they could come. Once players start getting hurt, you're making money. I think that it could start coming at some point in time.
Oh, money's gonna change everything. Yeah, I mean, money is where it all really comes. I mean, you look at it now, right? Like, the NBA even realizes that they've got a problem with their product. I don't know if you saw today they were talking about trying to the competition committee talking about changing things up that you could do defensively because the offense seems like it's coming too easy now. Like it's all based on the product, right? And I think that storming the court is a part of the product of college basketball when you upset a team or when you end up winning a national championship, things like that, right? Like, I just think that would be something that may hurt the product of college basketball. Not crazy like, but like entertainment wise, it's just a part of the game.
I get what you're getting at, and I don't necessarily disagree. I guess we'll just see.
It's weird because it's like this kid really did get hurt, so you want to do something.
Yeah, but you can't overreact. Like you said, if it is a one time, if this is the only time it happens this season, I would have to look up and see how often the frequency.
I think we saw one in college football this year, right? Where like they ran on the field and ended up like running into one of the running backs or something like that. I want to say it was a Texas game or like we've seen it, but I don't think that this is a major issue. Like, this is just something that people are going to talk about for the moment because he had to get carried off the field by his teammates or off the court by his teammates. Like, I think the bigger let's be real, the things that we will talk about long term will be rule changes made at the NBA level because of those rule changes going to have to be made at college. That's what's going to have more of an impact than storming the court.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Like, this is a hot topic right now that Stephen A can yell about with Shannon for 10 minutes.
Don't even get me started on that shit, bro.
What, you're not a fan of First Take, dog? You're not.
Have you listen? I watch First Take every once in a while, and I think and that's not the crap on Shannon or Stephen A. Smith or anything like that, but the the turning everything into a debate when really it's like a just make the damn change. Make the change.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. It is weird because it's like it's almost like I don't like that they force everybody to talk everything every minute, no matter what. When it's like there's no way you can be good at all that. Like I get it. At a certain point, you can talk about everything in certain ways, in generalities, or you can have big conversations. But like, I'm fine with the whole debate thing until like you get those random moments where Shannon Sharp's like Kyrie Irving doesn't have a post game. And it's like, which Kyrie Irving you watching? The point guard Kyrie Irving, the guy that absolutely has one of the best post games as a guard you could find. Like that guy, that's the guy he's talking about. Like, have you when Kendrick Perkins can hit you with tell me you ain't watching basketball without telling me you ain't watching basketball?
Bro, that's crazy.
Oh, the disrespect, bro. The disrespect, bro. Oh, speaking of basketball, wanted to finish it up with this topic, man. Rookie of the year conversation, my guy. We're getting to the season's almost over, bro. And we still got to talk about the Bulls every day. Thank God we get paid for it now.
Yeah, thank God.
Some people out here still doing it for the love, dog. We still love it, but like we get paid for it now. Is Wemby your clear-cut rookie of the year right now?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I get it that Chet, you can absolutely make a conversation for Chet. This is not the crap on Chet at all for what he's been, and he's doing it on a team that's winning. And that alone should get him in the conversation. But Wemby is leading the league in blocks.
He's a freak.
Yeah.
He's a freak.
So, but hey, both these guys are living up. Both of them are living up to the hype. So shout out to them and their fans.
I think what's interesting is right when I look at Wemby and I look at Chet, I think you hit the nail on the head though. Can you give the rookie of the year to a player who's on a team that's dog water versus a player who's like Wemby's averaging 20 points a game, 3 balls not really as good as you'd like, I guess 31%, but 10 rebounds a game, and he's averaging 3.3 blocks a game. Chet's averaging 17. He's shooting the 3 ball at a 40% clip, 7 rebounds a game, and he's averaging 2.6 blocks. We're gonna give Wemby the rookie of the year on a losing team based off of a block a game, basically, or not even like 0.5 of a block a game, basically.
Yes.
Like I love everything Wemby's doing right now, but there's something about impacting winning that I think should always be rewarded over the freak of nature being the freak of nature.
I agree with you. But I also think that this isn't anything like Melo should have been rookie of the year over LeBron.
Yes. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
So it's also the narrative portion of it. And unfortunately, Chet missed his narrative window. The Chet narrative right now is only going to be there to help support Wemby getting rookie of the year. And I'm not saying I agree with it, but that's what this is going to be.
What have their head-to-heads been this year? I know we've had some
we've had
we've had a couple, right? We've had probably 3 of them.
Has it been 3?
And they've all been good, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to see if they have like a head-to-head on here where it shows the games. I guess Thunder versus Spurs. But it's they've all been entertaining games. They've all been competitive games, and on both sides of it, right? You saw both guys come out and play good ball. Well, I lied on that part about it being competitive.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and they actually play tomorrow too. So
do they really?
Yeah, they actually play tomorrow.
Oh, so that's even better on this then.
But yeah, it looks like they played each other twice so far, and the Spurs have lost both matches, which doesn't surprise. The Spurs have lost a lot of basketball.
Spurs are garbage. it has the game passed Pop by? Why won't he play Wemby more? What's the holdback?
It's the mysterious ankle injury.
Fam, from rolling his ankle in on the ball boy that one time. Like that's the one injury that
that's the one that
I don't know.
I mean, to his credit though, he started all 52 games that he's played in for sure, right? He's averaging almost 30 minutes per game. So it's not like he's not playing. He's averaging 28 and a half minutes per game. So he's still he's averaging 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 3.5 blocks, 1.5 steals. The dude, that's rookie of the year numbers, bro.
He's a freak, dog. I'm not saying he's not a freak, but I just like is Chet far behind him because he's a half a block behind him?
No.
Like I don't think that I can sit here and say that Chet is somebody who's actually going out there and helping his team win games and is actually a big part of it, is behind a guy who now maybe it's because the coach won't play him, because the crazy part about that is with Chet and Wemby, Chet's playing 30 minutes a game. Wemby's gotten up to 28 minutes a game, but there was a part of the season where Wemby was playing like 24 minutes a game.
Yeah.
So Wemby's putting up those numbers on much less time on the court. But it's I don't know, man. Like I feel like we're devaluing winning too much in the modern era. In the modern era of basketball, right? Listen, Derrick Rose was not the best player in the NBA when he won his MVP. He's the best point guard in the NBA, and he proved that on that point guard tour.
Yeah.
But he was not the best player in the NBA, but the Bulls were the best team.
Well, also it depends on how you rate the MVP, because it's like MVP isn't necessarily just the best player. I think it's also the biggest impact that you have. Yeah. Like, and he elevated that team to heights that you just can't deny. Yeah. And I think Wemby, you're looking at too, like rookie of the year. And I get what you're saying. Winning should have an impact in that. Make no mistake about it. Winning, I'm not a participation trophy guy. Winning should have an impact in everything that you have going on. To me in sports, that's what we do for. It's a competition. You're here to compete, right? But the story and the fact of him living up to the hype, I think that storyline is enough. And it's not like he's not performing. If it was like he was okay, he was okay, but it's Wemby, so then you're giving it to him. But he's living up to every bit of it. Now, Chet's doing it on a team that's winning, and he gets commended for that. But also, Chet shouldn't even be in this. If he didn't get hurt, he wouldn't even be in this conversation for the rookie this year.
In facts, that's true. That's 100% true. But I'll say this, and maybe this is the conversation that we need to be having more. I don't know if Wemby should win Rookie of the Year, but he should 100% win Defensive Player of the Year his first year in the NBA.
He may do both.
He has a game with 10 blocks.
Yeah.
This week.
Yeah.
He has a game with 10 blocks in a game, dog. Like, bro, he has a game versus the Raptors. He put up 27, 14, and 10. He had a triple-double, and 10 of them were blocks.
That's crazy.
Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like if you take Wemby off this team, how many more games do the Spurs lose? They've won, what, 11?
Is that all they've won on the season is 11?
I don't think the Spurs have won that many. Like, they're not a good basketball
11 and 48. That's crazy.
How many more games do they lose if you take Wemby off that team?
11.
They lose all 11 games. You thought we were talking about the Pistons out here. No.
I mean, okay, so let's look at this. So they won 11 games. They played 60 games. Wemby's played in 52. That means he's missed 8 games.
Didn't they beat the Bulls one?
Did they beat him? I think they came back and won that game.
We did.
Yeah, because Drum gave Wemby his welcome to the NBA moment.
Yeah.
So that means he's not played in 8 games. They had 11 wins, 52 games. I would say they probably would be still sub 10 wins, bro. They'd probably be like them and the Detroit Pistons would be looking at each other like, hey, who's gonna get this number?
So they're both 9-win teams.
Basically.
Basically. So two wins.
Yeah.
If you impacted me for 2 wins, dog, like I'm having a tough time sitting here being like, yeah, he's a Rookie of the Year.
I mean, But like I said, this is the numbers he's putting up, and I know you said it's close to Chet, but it's not just over a block. Like he's averaging more points. He's doing it with less minutes. I think he's doing it on less shots too, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong in the less shots.
Now listen, Vic be taking. I gotta look at his shots per game. That is the one thing about Victor where it's like he put up 15 points. Oh, how many shots? 4. What the? How do you do that?
Chet's taking 12 shots per game. How many is Wemby taking? Let's take a look.
Wemby right now, field goal. I'm getting percentage. I'm not
16.2. So he is doing it. He is taking more shots. Wemby's taking 5 3-pointers a game.
Yes, bro. Just
Get
pull
your
him.
long ass in the paint, my guy.
Just pulling him, bro. Long arm, just letting them fly, fo.
That's crazy.
It's hilarious, dog. And the shot hasn't fallen for him this year. That's the one thing about him where it's like there's still more to unlock with this kid. Like, what happens when the 3 ball it starts falling at a 36% clip?
Just watch the hell out, NBA. That's all I can say.
I don't know, like, what happens, right? I don't know. Like, I feel like Pop isn't prioritizing winning. Wemby isn't playing enough to say that he is prioritizing winning. And the Spurs are just a team that, like, I don't know what's happened to that team. Now they got rid of DeJounte Murray and Jakob Poeltl, and they just were like, "Yep, we're done. We're done competing." And we got Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell now. And I'll take Devin Vassell off your hands whenever you're ready. Still to this day. To this day, he was so angry. I saw I saw a highlight clip from him the other day, and I don't know why we ever thought he could box. He can knock you out.
He was just strong and knock people out.
He can knock you out for sure. He was playing point him out, knock him out in a boxing ring, bro. That mess was crazy. And then we were surprised when he got beat by a boxer. Hey man, we appreciate you guys for tuning in and rocking with us. Let us know in the comments if you had any different thoughts than we had. If you have a different opinion, you just might be sitting in a different section. Follow me on everything at Pat the Designer, and appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Haize is about to pass out over there. He's got an edible on the way and a shot of vodka.
Tequila. Let's get the drink right. But yeah, you guys can follow me at CEO Haize, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to Views from the Bleachers. We about this month.
Y'all stay safe out there, man. Peace.